Our next guest, you guys, is a dynamic, charismatic radio and television host from New York. He lives here in LA now. He's an executive producer at BRIC, which is a New York nonprofit providing resources to launch creativity and diversity in the arts. He's the executive producer and host of an exciting and inspiring new television show, the Love We World Tour. Because of his big, big heart, he's our very first in-person G-Spot. Please welcome Amar Taborn! Hello, handsome! It was not the fact that you're handsome and gorgeous and well-dressed and well-groomed and well-spoken.
Thank you.
Your heart drew me in. I had listeners actually refer you to me, and this is one of the... It's happened before.
Wow.
Through... A lot of times I'll get a celeb booking through either publicists, people I know, or celebs I know, but this literally came from a fan base.
Wow.
Fans of your show are listeners of Langdon Nation.
Yes.
And I literally received an email, you must check this boy out.
Okay.
So I checked you out on the YouTube, fell in love instantly with your work.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm old, Amar.
He's 97, don't mind him.
Okay, well, I'm 98. You know black don't crack, so.
It's so not fair. Makes me so
You
mad.
say I crack is whack, but... But, you know, the bribery worked. All I have to say, all the fans just, you know, got to you. And it's a fan-driven show. It's Love We. It's not Love Me. It's not the Amar Taborn show. It's a Love We show. So it's a fan-based show where they're the producers of Love, and they produced the show. So they did their job.
They did their job, and they did it well.
Yeah.
We're almost right against the commercial break, Amar. So I want to show the nation, before we go any further, what Love We is all about.
Okay.
The new show is Love We World Tour, and we
Yes.
have a clip. So I just want to let the listeners see it, and then we can talk about it after the next
Play
break.
the clip.
How far would you travel for unconditional love? All forms of love, friendship, family, and romance. Discovering how we love all around the world. To love you, love me, and love we.
Love We is about this mission to discover all forms of love all around the world. Not everybody wants to be loved the same way. We don't all want to be loved the same way. And we're discovering how you really want to be loved. What form of love suits you? Maybe it's friendship, maybe it's family. And how do we love based on our culture, based on our history, based on our backgrounds, our traditions? You know, it's a topic that will just keep going and going because love is one of the most mysterious things on the planet. What's more important than love in our lives?
I love that you're driving off in a gorgeous Lexus to go explore the world to talk about love.
Yeah, you know, I didn't return to the rental company yet, but, you know, don't tell anybody.
Like, love does not mean you can't like nice things.
Yeah, well, you know, I get that a lot because people overlook the fact that love is all. And sometimes, you know, they think that I shouldn't have the wealth and the beauty of life, but of course you should. That's
I
what
like
it's all
that
about.
philosophy. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, of
You
course
love
should.
Lexus.
I love Lexus.
Well, Lexus is the universal symbol of love. That's what the L is all about.
Really?
Right? That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah, I was like, I saw on the subways the other day that Superman was, the S stands for hero, or what is it called? The S stands for something. You hear about that?
For sexy? That's what I always
It doesn't
thought.
stand for Superman. It stands for something else.
What I love is that your show, Love We, and the World Tour, Love We doesn't mean love me, love you, love we. So that implies unity, togetherness, and
Yeah.
that's honestly a big, huge part of what my whole life and mission personally,
Yeah.
and this crazy, wacky, dirty show is actually all about.
Yeah, I'm just happy you didn't say love weed, because as I've been traveling around the world, this is what I hear all the time. Really, I'm being honest.
Oh my God, Tony will love it.
Dude, I love your show. You got that I love weed show, right?
This is what I get everywhere I go.
Man,
And
where can I get some?
they write down the show on a little, you know, piece of paper and say love weed. And I'm like, no, it's love weed.
Dude,
not
you
love
holding?
weed.
Are you
Nothing's
holding?
wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but that's not what the show is about. The show
To
is
be
about,
honest, the first time he said that, that's what I heard. I
Yes.
was
See,
like, oh,
you see?
all right.
Okay.
See, Amar, it kind of proves the point that you hear what you want to hear.
Yeah. Well, I have a background in marketing advertising, so I got you.
Which is what I think's amazing. So your history is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You come from a background in marketing, advertising, the most secular, some would say the most materialistic, manipulative world on planet Earth.
Yes.
And then you go from this and being quite talented at what you do, never working in front of the camera. People apparently always trying to get you in front of the camera, but
Yes.
no, you're always behind the camera. And then you wake up one night and decide, I want to do a show about love.
Yes.
The softest, sweetest, Where does this come from, Amar, and how did this happen to you, honestly?
Well, the honest truth is I've been, most of my background is hip hop. My good friend, MC Light, Dana Owens, Lana Moore.
Dana Owens is Queen Latifah, most people don't know.
Dana and Lana are my very good friends, and I've been in all their little rap videos. Just pull up a Google search, you'll see me. But never thought about being in front of the camera until one day I just had a feeling that I need to talk about love because things happened with my own life. I went to jail.
That's what I want to dig into because I've seen interviews with you on other media networks, and there's a big leap that happens where you and now here's the leap, and I'm gonna dare you to dig in and tell me a little more.
I'll dig in. We'll dig in
because it didn't just happen, or if it either did just happen, and I want to hear about that dramatic moment, or there were some series of small dramas in there, and I'm really interested in that meat.
Oh, it was a big drama and a lot of meat.
No doubt, Amar.
Big meat.
I have a feeling. Well, you tell me. Tell me.
Do you want to hear it now?
Yes, I do.
I hear the music playing. I thought we were going to a commercial break. I don't know.
I got so excited.
Yeah, okay.
No, honestly, usually the crew is going on and on. The control room brings up the music, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. We have to go to break. I literally was so honest to God. I swear, I will totally out myself. So into this moment that I completely forgot that was the music for the break.
Langdon thought the music was in his head.
You throw big meat at Langdon. He's not. That's all he can.
All I have to do is whip out the meat. That was it? Okay.
That's all I can handle. Nation, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back. We're going to hear the inside story of how Amar Taborn went from literally the most secular world to talking about the most mushy-gushy, fabulous thing in the world, love.
That boy needs therapy.
This is Soledad O'Brien.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Nick Cannon.
Hey, everybody, it's your girl, and now.
Hi, I'm Daphne Williams, and you're loving it on T Radio V.
T Radio V.
T Radio V, let's get it.
I want to tell you that we respect you. We admire you. And above all, we love you.
Welcome back to Langdon Nation, you guys. We're here with the executive producer and host of the Love We World Tour, Amar Taborn.
Hi. How you doing?
Handsome. I want to give a big shout out to your mama, to Miss Tanya.
Miss Tanya, how you doing?
Tanya. She up in New York?
Yeah, she's in New York right now. She'll call in and embarrass me, so let's not talk about her too much.
Miss Tanya, call in 855-878-4652.
Actually, true story, we're preparing to go to a trial in Miami. And she's probably packing her bags right now. And this is a part of the show, actually. Our executive producer, another executive producer, attacked her on tour.
Oh. I need to hear about this because I did see rumor of this on the internet. What
allegedly,
happened?
I'm sorry, allegedly attacked her.
Yeah, we got to be legal.
Yes.
We got to be legal.
Yeah.
Allegedly, what happened to your mother
Allegedly,
on this
my
tour?
mother was attacked brutally and cut in the temple with a glass, and I was there as a witness, so I'm showing up as a trial as a witness.
I say it happened, otherwise, I mean...
Yeah, he said it, not me, so...
Sounds like it did.
I mean, it definitely happened. It's just a question of who did it.
So this happens on a show all about love. You could have your own reality show, just like the reality show they're filming about T Radio V starting next week.
Yeah.
Literally, which we cannot wait to be a part of and are so excited about. So thank you to the producers of Duck Dynasty. Thank you to Mike Sinna.
Makeup.
I know, right? Makeup. But this sounds so dramatic. How does a show, and we're going to talk about Love We and about the Love We World Tour. Yeah. How did this happen to your mom? And I know it's still in legal circles, so you have to be careful about what you say. But when I saw this on the internet, and I saw the news article.
Yeah, the news article was out there. And
shocked.
How does this happen? Well, the part of this show, a large part of this show, is that we really try to get people to give service to create the show. And this person was present here with me in Hollywood when I was at Sunset Bronson Studios.
That was your former show that you left.
Yeah, the wee moment. The wee moment.
Can't wait to talk about that a little bit.
Take a sigh. Okay, so We went on tour, literally went on tour with cameras and started filming across the United States. And I knew that this individual had some issues, and I used this show as a platform so people can heal themselves. Because listen, I'm just Amar. I have no advice for you or for you all. You have the right answers, and that's a real big part of what this show is about. You have the answer for yourself, and through your testimony, you can maybe inspire him. And through his testimony, he can inspire everybody else. So
nice. Each one reach one.
Exactly. So a part of his duty was just to be the camera person and the executive producer on the show. And I think it was overwhelming for him, and I think Hollywood went to his head a little.
Okay.
And we when I got to Orlando, we were in Orlando, I got a call back.
It always happens in Florida. I'm so, what is it with my neck of the woods? I'm so sorry, Amar.
We got there, and I got a call back to do a spot, just like I'm doing now, to promote the show, and he just went crazy. So there was a huge fight, and I was recording an album at the time, and I had to interrupt the album. But yeah, it's going to be resolved on Monday. Monday, I go to trial.
Monday, you guys go to court. I just broke my pen. I'm so nervous about this. Now, personally, are you guys resolved, or have you spoken? What's happened since this conflict?
I haven't spoken to this person since it happened. This is a year and a half ago, and he actually made a phone call to me. I shouldn't be saying all this. This is all legal stuff, but who cares?
We always have spoilers and breaking news. Like, stars will come on to talk about their new project that's not out. Yeah. I love that. So tell us.
And I tell you why I'm going to say this, because this is my testimony and this is the truth.
Good.
And it's very important to share the truth, because love is not just la la la, I love, you know.
Love is hard sometimes. Yes, absolutely,
exactly.
and that's not a double entendre.
Exactly.
It's honesty.
Double entendre. So he called me after the incident and he begged me for forgiveness. He said, please, you know, I know you're a forgiving person. You're all about love. And I said, I do forgive you, but, you know, this is my mother. This is my mother. You tried to kill my mother. So I just don't want to see you again. So I guess I'll see him on Monday.
So for you, Amar, because this is a great moment to really dig in. Forgiveness is one of the things I teach with my patients in my group therapy work.
Yes.
And I do an 8-week workshop, like recurring group therapy. And the last couple of weeks, we go into love and forgiveness and compassion.
Yes.
And so I'm teaching meditation, we're teaching positive thinking, blah, blah, blah for weeks. Nobody has any problems with anything, right? I teach everybody to meditate, literally never any trouble, no matter how resistant they are to it. The most trouble I ever have is on forgiveness.
Yes.
With any of my patients, and I'll be very honest with you, Amar, with myself. So what do you think is the difference between forgiveness and seeking justice?
Well,
can you forgive and still seek justice?
Of course you can forgive. But to answer this question, I want to say I did a show. I have a radio show that sort of travels with the show. It's called Love We Live.
Yep.
And we're upgrading to a new show, new format, but that's another story.
I can't wait. Are you going to pitch it here?
Yeah.
Tell me you're going to break the news here.
Yeah, we will in a minute. But listen, we did a show.
I love it. It's like he has control of me already.
Exclusive.
Slap me, Amar.
We did a show called Forgiving. We did a show called
He's ignoring all of your
Yeah, I'm just ignoring
it.
Easy, Langdon. Easy.
The more Amar ignores me flirting with him, the more I'm going to flirt with him.
The more he likes it.
Because usually I'm flirting with a heterosexual, very gorgeous black male guest, but now I'm flirting with, I think, a gay male.
I don't know.
Right? Who knows?
Who told him that?
Yeah, really. What's the deal with that?
Say again?
Will you come out here too?
Would I come out here too?
I'm
out here right now.
Oh,
well, you know what? To be honest, I really don't discuss my sexuality, and I'll tell you why. I am traveling the world, and this is a very serious topic about love. I will be going to Islamic countries and different things. I really want to be neutral, and I really don't want people to focus on my. I don't want to be killed, number one, because I'm walking around with a target on my head. I'm black already, so I really just want to stay neutral for the people so they can talk to me, and that's really important to me.
And I can actually respect that. I have loved Anderson Cooper for a long time. I just respect him as a journalist, and for me, as someone who's been an out public figure since I was 18. I want everyone to come out, but I understand everyone and respect everyone's right to not come out.
Yeah.
But secretly, and that's my public statement and how I really feel. But then below that is, I wish every public figure who is gay would come out. I would never out anybody. I didn't agree with ACT UP outing everybody in a couple of those magazines that came out in the late 80s, early 90s that would out public figures. I did not agree with that. One of the things about Anderson Cooper, why he waited so long, and I totally respect it. As a journalist, he was traveling to war-torn countries all the time, and he knew that there was a possibility that he could be killed.
Exactly.
And so he waited, and of course I have friends, I know who he's dating. I knew that he's been gay, and Don Lemon, of course, is someone I've had a crush on for like 7.5, 9 years.
Yeah.
So I was super happy when Don Lemon came out. We had him on the show. We talked about it. We're still waiting for Anderson to do it. He finally does it. It's awesome. I think it's everybody's right, and it's completely cool.
I mean, I'll come out right now. I'll say I'm straight and that I'm gay. So I just came out for you.
Awesome.
I like it. So
There you go.
But it's going to make me flirt with you more. And it's going to mean that you're going to kill me.
Sexuality is so broad, though. Sexuality is also part of love. And I think that all human beings are inherently bisexual. You can look this up. I'm not making this up.
There's a lot of science behind that.
There's a lot of science behind this. And, just love each other. You want to love the chair, love the chair. You want to love a man, love a man.
I love everyone, just not in that way, Lane.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I think your show is exploring, because Love We is not just exploring love like in this kind of silly sense that some people might think, but you are truly exploring love in a sensual sense, in a romantic sense, and then you're exploring love in a filial sense.
Do you know how many forms of love there are?
5.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't.
Can you name the 5?
No.
Okay.
Oral, anal, vaginal.
Titty, intertitty. No, listen, Miss Tanya's listening. We can't do this.
Oh my God, my son is
There's
there would be filial, which is like friendship, right?
Yes.
So there's filial love.
Yes.
There is romantic love.
Yes.
There is agape, which is universal love.
Correct.
Familial?
I guess familial love would
family.
be one.
Yeah. I looked it up and I came up with over 10.
Love of Miley Cyrus. 5?
Yeah.
That's
I don't think
familial.
that really exists.
We can love Beyonce too. Why not? Hashtag Beyonce.
She was just
I love
in town.
her. I do love her.
You do love her.
She's lovely.
How many types of love are there, Amar?
There are, by definition, you just came across 4. So that's the most common definition. But there are over 10 or 12 or more.
Really?
Yes. So, and as I travel across the world, you can talk to a person from Pakistan, and there's always something that we haven't discussed. Some love that I've never seen before. So there are different ways to love all around the world. And that's why I'm traveling around the world.
To help explore and expose that and dig in deeper, so we don't stay at a ignorant level or a superficial level.
But to answer what you said about forgiveness, we did a show about forgiving George Zimmerman. And this was a hot show.
That's the first show I ever heard.
Oh my God.
You.
I mean, the energy that I got on the Facebook walls and the social media was just hot.
It was right after his acquittal.
Yes, and I really asked the audience, can you just forgive him? I mean,
I want to derail your show, but I always say you can't forgive someone unless they apologize.
Okay.
That's my thing.
I want to ask you a question, though. I don't know where you stand on the issue.
Okay.
How do you feel about the George Zimmerman case? Okay.
All right, Nation. We are opening some big cans of worms, as always happens on our show. So don't go anywhere. We're going to talk more about George Zimmerman, about forgiveness, about love, and about Amar Taborn. So we'll see you. Don't go anywhere.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my religion.
We must learn to live and love each other before it's too late. We have to stop.
I just got the idea to just go on tour. Go on tour because, I don't know, I just felt that I needed to go out into the world, to travel, to talk to people about love. It wasn't enough being at a studio, a major studio nonetheless, but it wasn't enough just sitting in a studio and having people come through the gates of the studio and interviewing them. I knew I had a calling to go out into the world and talk to people.
I decided to follow my instincts and create a tour show about discovering all forms of love all around the world, named Love We World Tour. So I gave my keys to my Los Angeles bungalow to Tom Hardy's personal trainer, Peanut, who was filming the new Batman movie at the time. I packed up my car and I hit the road.
Love you more.
Wednesday break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start.
What is this?
It's Friday.
I'm in love. Welcome back, Nation, to Langdon Nation. We're in the last remaining moments of the show with executive producer and host of the Love We World Tour and also the radio show Love We Live, Amar Taborn.
Yeah.
So just before we went to commercial break, you asked a very intriguing question about I asked about forgiveness, and then you brought up George Zimmerman and your amazing show in which you said, can you forgive George Zimmerman, the killer of young Trayvon Martin?
It's the case that's rocking America. Not guilty in the Trayvon Martin case against George Zimmerman. We will talk about the aftermath that's dividing a nation and ask the question, can we forgive George Zimmerman for the death of Trayvon Martin? Please join me for a special episode of Love We.
So you asked your listeners, could you forgive?
Yes.
And Michael had.
I was asking your impressions.
I said, okay, so
The abridged version.
I rushed to judgment, and I thought he was guilty and he should fry from the initial report.
Okay.
But then the more I watched the trial, it became fuzzier.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know if I could make that decision. So.
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just asking the questions here. I mean, I personally think that he was acquitted in our country, and this is our judicial system. If I don't agree with it, I should probably run for senator or run for some type of office.
Elected office.
Yeah. But I will say, I mean, within myself, I searched my consciousness. What did this man do to me? As a person of color, he did nothing to me. You know, and I don't really take it so personally. He did kill somebody and he was acquitted of it. But I think that this is deep racial issues in our country. And I think that forgiveness is the answer. Just forgive the man. Let it go. Because forgiveness is not for you. It's for myself. I'm not forgiving the person of doing anything, but I'm forgiving myself. It's a technique we learned called the Ho'oponopono. I love you. I love me. I love we.
Where is that from, Amar?
That's actually the slogan for this show. I'm sorry. The Ho'oponopono is I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
Does that come with coleslaw?
Yes, it does.
That's
and a side of
and you can get it fried if you want.
And a side of fried grits. So I just
is that Hawaiian?
Yes, Hawaiian. Yeah. And it just releases it. It releases all the energy of it, and you're free. And forgiveness is to free you, not the person. Did
it come to you easily to do that, Amar, because of the journey that you've been on, or did you find that you had to struggle or do some work there?
And here's the backstory. I was in jail for 8 days, charged with terroristic threats. My sister charged me and said I was going to burn her house down.
Whoa.
Long story. We don't have time. But as I was in jail for 8 days, I literally, and I tell you no lie, forgave her. I wrote a letter to myself and to her, and I said, I forgive you and I forgive myself. And I tell you, 30 minutes later, the doors opened to the cell. And when I realized that forgiveness is so powerful, I use it all the time as a tool. And forgiveness is a part of love. Use love as a tool to just navigate your way through life.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, Tony, do you forgive me?
I haven't heard an apology yet.
See, but that's what he's saying. He's not waiting for one.
Yeah.
That he's not waiting for one.
Yeah.
I am.
Some people aren't there yet. Some people need to get there. But
the thing, though, like when you say about Zimmerman, do we forgive him? Is it up to us to forgive him, or is it up to Trayvon's family?
Because if you're holding anything in your heart against this person that you don't know, that the only way you know this person is through the media, you only know what you were told about him.
That's my point.
But
because directly it does not affect us.
But we all know people like him.
But are you holding something inside of you, some anger about this person? You have to ask yourself that question. I don't know.
Right.
And if you are, forgive it. Let it go. Why are you holding on to it? How is that serving you?
Is that what forgiveness really is? Letting go? Because there's the part about forgiving, and then some people talk about forgetting.
Yeah.
But like, there's some things you don't forget, but you don't necessarily hang on to it. Like you can move past. Like, okay, they did that to me. I can't forget that they did that to me, but it really doesn't. It's not going to get in my way towards dealing with them or dealing with my life.
I agree. I think that's very important. With the Holocaust, the Jews forgave the Germans. We didn't forgive the Nazis, but we forgave the Germans. But we don't forget it, because if we forget it, it can happen again, and we don't want that to happen.
Well, I would ask the question, does remembering serve you? If it serves you, hold on to it. If it doesn't serve you, let it go.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think Amar brings up a good point. That's part of what the teachings that we try to do, that I'm trying to do, forgetting and forgiving are two different things, and forgiving is actually an action that we do for ourselves.
Exactly. You free yourself.
Even though it's so hard, because the more we hold on to something, what it actually does is hurt you.
Yeah,
despite the fact that you feel right, and you might actually be right, despite the fact that you feel justified, it actually harms you. I'm not saying that it's easy. So forgiveness, I don't think that Amar is patronizing anybody or trying to placate anybody or say that it's easy.
It's not easy.
His key word, and it's a word I use all the time in my therapy when people have something, the problem that they come to me with, right? So I ask them, does that serve you?
Yeah.
And Amar said serve twice.
Yeah.
I think
And that's
it's a great
very
point.
powerful.
This is what I'm doing is just about service. Love We World Tour is service. You want to say something?
No, I was just thinking that that's a great point, that you're right.
And also, one more point that I want to make about forgiveness before we move on is apathy. Apathy is one of the most rampant diseases happening in our society right now. And
it's worse than an STD.
Yes, it is.
It's very contagious. It doesn't take a whole lot of action to get it.
Yes.
And it spreads like wildfire, and it just taints our hearts.
And forgiveness is the cure.
That's beautiful. Now, I suspect, and I'm glad I kind of hinted earlier, because when I was talking to Mike, I said apathy on purpose as a reason. I suspect that your motives for doing the show came from noticing the apathy in the world.
Oh, yeah.
We started the G-Spot basically as an antidote to all the bad news. We would get letters every week from listeners. Give us an extra minute, guys. And I would get letters from listeners, and they would say, well, what about this war? And what about this bad news and these tornadoes? And so for us, we started the G-Spot because if you go, it's so easy to find nothing but bad news, bad news, bad news.
Yeah.
And
there's
to
more
me,
good news out there than you realize.
I figured you thought that.
I mean, the media makes money off of this. They're playing onto your fears, and
and bad
it's
news.
an industry.
Bad news spreads upon people, and it causes an effect where people do believe more in negative things.
Yes.
So we need to spread the good news more because that'll envelop more people into the good news versus bad news.
Yes.
It sells. It sells, right?
Yes.
But you're here to prove that love can sell too.
Oh, love is all. Please just watch out. You'll see.
Love is all you need.
So how can the nation find out more about the Love We World Tour and about you, Amar?
LoveWeWorldTour.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can text me. I'll give you my phone number. Just kidding.
Whoa, did you say love weed, man?
You're going to get so many calls for weed.
Oh, love weed, sorry.
Hey, Amar, can I get a nickel bag?
Dude.
Hey, can I get some of that sweet kush delivered?
We are actually, I want to say this before we go off the air, we're going to Syria. Love We is traveling to Syria now.
Yeah.
Some people are saying, are you crazy? Why are you going to Syria? Because they need love. And yes,
Everybody
are going
needs
to
love.
Syria. And I have a Turkish reporter who's backing me up on this. Artur Pavelski with the Beauty and Beyond Salon in New York City is funding this and helping funding this. So I travel around just to spread love. Just to spread love. And just I want to go and give some people a hug. That's it.
I think it's beautiful.
Yay.
I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the project Love We World Tour is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to see episodes.
Yes.
And to me personally, this should be on network TV.
Yes.
Network, cable, this should be everywhere.
That's next.
I'm
We're doing
gonna.
a film, we're doing a television show, and we're doing a radio show. So there's three sides of this whole mission.
Love We Live is the radio show.
Well, actually, we're changing the format to Love We World Tour, the radio show, Love We World Tour, the television show, and Love We World Tour, the film.
Okay.
And we're working with an Academy Award-winning film director on this project. So we're hitting all sides of the media. There's no better
good.
way to spread the message of love than through the media.
That's
This is what
good.
we all
And the
listen
one
to.
place to go would be loveweworldtour.com.
Yes. And if you guys want to donate to send us to Syria, go right to that website and just donate.
Absolutely. Are you doing like a Kickstarter or?
Well, I don't like Kickstarter. Amazon's gonna
That's
sue me.
okay. That's okay.
I like Indiegogo better, but we're gonna donate.
Very quickly, where can I download naked pictures of you?
Naked pictures? I'll see you later in the bathroom.
Okay. Miss Tanny has some, but they're from when he was like 6 months old. So
I got you later, Pip. Hit me up.
loved having you on the show, Mar. Will you come back?
Thank you so much. Of course.
This was just not enough time with you. You are absolutely invited. Open invitation, sir.